Mamata Banerjee held her first press conference after the declaration of the results. It was a bombshell of a press conference which had heaps and heaps of allegations. But the biggest news point of that press conference was that she refuses to resign. She says that morally, Trinamool Congress has won and she hasn't lost the polls. If I may give you some details about the press conference which she held, she said she would not resign, insisting that she has not lost the election despite the results and claiming that the verdict was the outcome of a conspiracy. She also said that morally she has won the election and alleged that the verdict was influenced by force. I'm quoting her. She says, "If I had lost, I would have resigned. But if anyone thinks I will step down under pressure, that is not going to happen. We did not lose the election. It was a forceful attempt. Morally, we won the election." This is what she said in the press conference. But apart from that, she also said that she's going to constitute a 10-member fact-finding committee which is going to look into the post-poll violence, because the pictures which we have seen are horrifying since last afternoon. TMC offices across Bengal have been attacked, vandalized. In fact, Mamata Banerjee also alleged in a press conference that the women workers of TMC have been threatened of rape. BJP has been forcing the TMC workers to join BJP. This is all what she alleged in the press conference. But her claim that she's not resigning, she's not entitled to go to the Raj Bhavan, this is what she said. Is this going to lead to a constitutional crisis in Bengal? And not to forget, BJP is thinking of having the swearing-in ceremony of 9th of May, which happens to be the Rabindranath Tagore's anniversary, the birth anniversary. Thank you so much for joining this evening. Jawahar Sircar joins us, columnist, author, and former Rajya Sabha MP, someone who's been associated with TMC but had to quit the party. Thank you, sir, so much for joining. And my first question to you is, how do you make of this press conference where Mamata Banerjee is saying that she won't resign? There is no question of her going to Raj Bhavan. Now, is this posturing, or she's trying to put up a brave face to motivate the cadres?
Well, she has made her statement, and there's some amount of truth in what allegations she has made. But then, there are processes, and processes, procedures, legalities. Some of them will take place in spite of her. To begin with, the House expires on the 7th of May. That's 2 days from tomorrow, two days away. So the leader of the House, present House, stands nullified the moment the House is dissolved. Okay? So after that, her status is unsure, because she is not CM anymore unless the governor asks her to continue for a day or two, which is often done. 2-4 days, continue karo. Otherwise, the governor steps in on the 7th of May itself. Now, there are other procedures left for the actual declaration of individual results. The Election Commission will be handing over certificates of elections to the MLAs and notifying the Vidhan Sabha and the governor. And from the 8th of May, the process starts that the governor starts looking for the next leader. Usually the person who has the maximum number of MLAs writes to the governor or goes and visits him with a letter and signatures, and the matter gets moving for the next house, that we call it, next house.
No, but if Mamata continues with her behavior and what she said, that she's not going to resign, can this situation, can this political deadlock lead into a presidential rule in Bengal also? Many people have been saying.
No. The presidential rule has been a dream for many years, and now that they have actually seized power, the word presidential rule won't be heard in Bengal. It will be heard for other opposition rule states. So just forget that term. It's out of style now. Now, having said that, her term expires the moment the new chief minister is selected. And if she's been told to be an interim charge, And she's not told to be an interim charge, the governor can actually hold interim charge himself because it's a matter of day or two only. Okay, so that's the legal position where it stands. Uh, what happens? Well, the police withdraw their CM level protection. The CM level cars and other things are withdrawn and moved on to whoever is declared legitimately with the CM. That's all. So
But
this one,
in her case, in Mamta's case, what I'm not able to understand is that when categorically she's saying in the press conference that I will not go to Raj Bhavan, I will not resign. Why should I resign? Morally, I have won the election. I was made to defeat the election. Now, this political posturing, if I may look at it that way, what does it mean, and how is it going to translate in terms of the steps which she will take, and how will BJP react to it?
okay,
I'm
you
sure
know,
she's also made
each
allegations, sir, that she was heckled, she was thrown out of the center, all that she has said. So, is she going to be thrown out of the CM residence also?
she doesn't stay in the CM's residence. That's one good thing. So she can't be thrown out of her residence. She can be divested of the same ship, so to say. Now, let us look into, don't get into to her style because, there are this Mamta-esque style, the Modi-esque style, Mitro, and all that. We have those styles. And we know exactly where Mitro is giving you hot gas, hot balloons. Now, Mamta has this emotionalism connected with her politics, where she jumps in and makes statements and perhaps doesn't examine the legality, etc. Maybe if she goes to the court before the next swearing in, it becomes even more interesting. But waiting in a court or getting the court to stay at this stage is impossible.
No,
Now,
but
I've
stay
stuck
for
my
what? Why will she
impossible.
approach the court? No,
Okay.
what will she approach the court?
Okay. Now, the only way she can hold her office, so to say, beyond her term is the court intervenes, which is very, very unlikely. Okay.
Unlikely.
To make the court intervene, she has to have materials enough to convince the court. Now, there's something called estoppel in law that is very dangerous. Very dangerous. And she is a victim of her own estoppel. Let me explain. She had been threatening from day one not to cooperate with SIR, etc., from day one. What she did not state properly is why. And there are two very factual reasons why, and one reason of estimation. The two very factual reasons are, number one, SIR is of dubious legitimacy. I have been saying this, of dubious legitimacy, and it could be challenged only of the dubious legitimacy because the existing law of the Representation of the People Act and the registration of elector rules never mentions SIR anyway. So all these orders are known as Ganesh Kumar GK orders, not RP orders. So she could have done that. She went to court on finer counts of this and that, but the legality of this never was decided by the court, who went on to everything else other than the legitimacy of it all. That's one. So she lost before she won, before it's all started. The second thing on which she could have agitated and got the court to decide or walk out to make it an issue was, why are you confusing it with citizenship? Now, before she could get terribly worked up on citizenship, Ganesh Kumar did a sly thing. I use the word sly because he speaks with three tongues. When he speaks with two, he speaks with three tongues. So once he said citizenship lagao, you give me this document, give me that document. And then when he saw the heat building up on him on 21st of January, he declared before the Supreme Court, "Hey, I'm not here for citizenship. It's only one of those add-on things, that sort of thing. We are not here to expel people." So he actually withdrew from that ground. Having set fire to the process, that is what he did. The basic mistake that Mamata Banerjee did was to accept a 10-month process in a 5-month frame. And it takes 10 months, and any civil servant worth his salt, and Ganesh Kumar is not one of them, can know from the procedures and days. You have particular period for pregnancy. You can't squeeze it beyond the time. You have a particular period for maturity, for salting, for marination, for everything. So this one is a 10-month procedure. And we can lay it out and say why it's 10 months. Instead of making a case on that, she fought on many other issues, put her down, made a drama, came before the court. This is saying no other chief minister ever comes. Okay, you are a competitive chief minister, you are the leader material, Mandya. But you actually lost when you considered a 10-month procedure into a 5-month job. So then, the heat builds up. Ki ise khatam karna hai. We have to finish it now. Now we have to finish it from 10 months. Second big mistake she did was, after accepting it, play ball. Every time the names were asked for, she went on filibustering. She gave wrong sort of name. It's a typical of Mamata Banerjee to behave like that. She takes everything personal. Very, very personalized style of functioning. So that fellow said, forget him. Oh, aisa hi hai. Let the civil servants work, for God's sake. If they want 1,700 names out of 24 lakhs, I can give you 1,700 names. Let them work. Don't give a dubious man like Ganesh Kumar an opportunity to say you have not cooperated. You gave through your letters and your delays the exact opportunity Ganesh Kumar was looking for. And the courts followed that. And every time the courts started this, the courts mentioned every time, oh my God, why are you fighting like the two tomcats? This is not happening anywhere else. I mean, the courts equated Ganesh Kumar with a legitimately elected chief minister. That's the way he played the game. She lost there. So having lost on so many accounts, then to come back and then say that the halfway line was not the halfway line, it was near my quarterback box. All the rules were violated. Why did you play? Why did you play? You should have just walked up. You see, the Marxists boycotted one full
Oh, so are you
session.
saying that the right step for Mamata Banerjee would have been to boycott the election rather than
To
accepting it?
ultimately to boycott the election when the Supreme Court decided on such a absolutely unprecedented order
Yes.
of leaving 27 lakh citizens out of the voting process, that would have been enough for her to say, I am not taking part. What would be the consequences?
No, but then if
It,
she would have boycotted, then would it not have been seen as
walk
something
over
which is
BJP.
handed over to BJP on a platter?
Walk over to the BJP. See, she has had, it would have been walk over to the BJP on a silver platter. Okay. What she has done now is to hand it over on a golden platter. You must
Okay.
realize the
Yes.
silver platter would be questionable, and she would have the high moral ground. High moral ground that our voters have been left out. She would have asked them, show me the election computer source code. Tell me, does the computer know who are Muslims? Have they been filled with 5,000 common Muslim names? How are they only going down to Muslims? Is there a tilt in the computer against women and Dalits? Show me, and that independent experts from India and abroad say it. She would have been on a higher ground. Instead, she allowed the fellow to play. The computer was rigged. I am saying it is rigged. It is rigged because the computer was not the election commission's. The computer entire SIR game was framed by the world's most nasty corporate strategists and nasty, highly overpaid legal brains. There are these nasty groups available for corporate takeovers and raids. They were pulled in by some oligarchs or oligarchs of India, made it all out and presented to whoever you know, who in
Who were
turn
these
present.
people? Who were these people? Did Mamata Banerjee know about
no, no. I'm telling you from the style and the operations and this thing, words like logically, what is that? Logically
logical
discrepancy.
discrepancies? Yes.
Yeah. Oxymoron. Now, these were concocted not by civil servants. Remember one thing, having worked with them for 40 years, if they can be a bad, good, everything. They are not anti-people. A guy coming out of IIT, going through the exam, is house trained not to go against the people. He may have to open fire. Some may have to open fire once in a lifetime, or the police may open fire once in a lifetime, but they're not anti-people. This is an anti-people booby trap. Either I put you under mapping, unmapped, logical discrepancy, under adjudication. These are terms contrived by absolute thing and handed over to some master who in turn handed it over to an ultra loyalist कि आप इसको execute करो. To execute it, you require either a complete sense of, fascist dedication to the master and an equally demented brain and a rudeness that defies all limits.
True.
There's nothing else. He's the rudest
Right.
chief election commissioner in 25.